All right, let's go. Couple of hours before 2021. So thankful for everyone that's been following me for 2020. Thankful that you're still here, right? We still here. A lot of great people, right? Smile people, right? Big people in our heart and mind, family, friends, loved ones didn't make it. Just like any other year, right? Just like any other year. But this year has been one for the ages, right? Has been one for the ages. Cedric says, let's go. Cedric, what state are you in? Um, let's see if you're on Eastern Standard Time, right? Where you get New Year's notification earlier or later, right? So if you all are coming in, let's do our do now, right? If you're on YouTube.
All right, let's talk more about the broader markets here and what various money managers are talking about with their clients. I want to bring in Sandy Brager. She is a experienced partner.
I think my television just want to talk, right? I think my television just want to talk. So let's cut that volume down. Cedric, Sean. Okay, Nola. So you on my time, right? What's going on in New Orleans? Okay. What's going on in NOLA tonight? Have fun and stay safe. Thank you so much on Periscope. Thank you so much on Periscope. And so let's get right into the topic, right? Um, that I want to bring out. You want to make sure you hit like and share if you are. I'm trying to adjust this microphone. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, like and share as well. YouTube, I mean, hit the thumbs up, right? Smash the thumbs up. It's like a lot of people are busy, right? How can you be busy and broke? I just read an article today that over 789,000 additional people have filed for unemployment. So I'm a little confused as how people can be busy and broke, how our economy is supposed to be in such a bad state, right? And how people can party and broke. I guess they say, hey, I might as well go in. They gave people that $600 stimulus just so they could have a little pocket change, I guess, to blow on New Year's Eve, right? And people are doing just that. I saw today there are new Jordans released, self-tying Michael Jordan shoes that tie themselves, right? You gotta be lazy if you don't want to tie your own shoes. I guess that's another thing that youth won't learn. The shoe tying, I guess you said you don't tie this, Crocs and things like that. But I guess that's another skill that youth won't learn in this generation, how to tie shoes or shoestrings that they won't learn in pre-K. They don't even know how to tell time anymore. If it's not a digital watch or digital time, youth don't know how to how to tell time anymore, right? If it's a hand watch, right? So I'm really just confused. Yes, self-lacing Jordan. That gotta be for the lazy, right? It's gotta be for the lazy. So let's get into this real quick. As you all hit the thumbs up, share on Periscope, get those hearts, share as well, and thumbs up and share on your personal Facebook page. You're on Facebook. I woke up this morning and I had Martin Luther King out of all people on my mind. And I really, really listened to that speech that he gave, his final speech today on I've been to the mountaintop, right? I've been to the mountaintop. Most people are familiar with the I have a dream speech, right? But the I've been to the mountaintop speech brought out some things, right, that I never recognized before. And I wanted to share this with you all because this is my thing right now. If you've been following me this year, all of 2020, and you have not transitioned your cash into credit, what do I mean by that, right? By investing in your credit and get credit advice of how to use credit to get assets, right? I'm still working. I may do some more writing on my book tonight. Depends on how I feel or if I just want to relax and hang out with friends and enjoy 2021 coming in. But how to transition your credit or to invest in your credit, of how to use credit to invest, right? I like to invest in cryptos, right? Because that is the new digital future. The digital dollar is here, is coming, and the paper money, paper dollar as we know it, will be devalued, right? It's already articles about Joe Biden that he's going to further devalue the dollar more, right? And so the $2,000 stimulus is still up in the air. Don't know if it be approved upon, but if it is approved or not approved, what's going to happen with the $2,000 stimulus is that people will get a first payment or are supposed to have gotten a first payment. One thing that I noticed about this $600 stimulus, right, is that you don't see a whole lot of posting on social media that I got, or at least the friends that I have, right, that their stimulus has hit the checking account. Because then you will know that they make under $75,000. So I don't know if there's something people would be want to brag or boast on, right? About the making or earning under $75,000 a year. Now, smart people, right, that have businesses can claim that their taxable income was under 75,000, right? And they still could have exceeded and even made six figures. But if they had the home-based business that I'm a part of and a very smart tax professional, right, their reporting income, right, or adjusted gross income could have well been under 75,000, and they could have brought income in of 200,000 or 250,000 or 150,000, right? So they could have been a six-figure income earner, but their home-based business tax deductions lower their adjusted gross income, right? And so now we have a transition. Thank you, Jesus. He said, everyone, please hit the like button. I appreciate that, Jesus, right? Appreciate that. So you all hit the like button. I kind of started talking before I did the 5 minutes of fame. And that's because I'm not going to be on the live stream that long, right? I'm not planning on being here long. It's getting ridiculous, but only for a small percentage of the population, right? Even though 758 additional people filed for unemployment today, it is still a very cumulative low percentage of Americans who are not employed right now, right? We still have about 20% of people, population-wise, who are not employed. So when you look at situations or look at things that the government, right, is not your friend. The government is not your friend. On Christmas Day, for those persons or people who were receiving additional $300 unemployment, right, on Christmas Day, that was taken away, right? So you had bad Santa on Christmas Day. And so now people will go 3 to 6 weeks without that additional federal unemployment assistance, right? And then you had moratoriums scheduled to end December 31st, right? And you also had other benefits, evictions, moratoriums, and things like that scheduled to end December 31st. And so the government people do what's in their best interest. And enough of the population has not recognized it yet, right? And so what you have to do is learn the best way to play the game, right? To be financially successful. So as I was saying, you should get out of cash, right? I'm not saying not to have cash to pay your bills and make those essential purchases. I'm not even saying cash is not trash because my cash was able to buy my Bitcoin, right? But what I'm saying is cash is not king, right? So if you have anyone that's showing you their bank account with six figures of cash deposit in it, they're stupid. That's idiotic to do that. Or it's obvious that these people don't have a financial education because you're not gaining any interest on that money by just sitting in your checking account. Unless you're preparing to make a move to flip that cash into some type of asset, it doesn't make sense to have cash just sitting in your bank account in large lump sums and you're saying, I'm going to save it for a rainy day, when you could have flipped it over into real estate. You could have flipped it into coins, gold or silver, right, which is insurance, which would have kept the value of that dollar or dollars, right? Or you could have converted it into cryptocurrency, right? And then I have some people that ask sometimes, what if the internet crashes or we have some type of electrical outage and you have your money on your mobile money, right? I'm like, those things will shut the banks down as well. You have some type of electrical outage, citywide, statewide, nationwide, right? It's going to affect your banking institution as well. So people have to level up their mindset because they don't know that we're already really pretty much out of the dollar system anyway. It's very seldom if you really look at it, unless you just, are a person that does not operate with a bank account or with credit, that you actually use your cash, right? So we're already in a cashless society. Maya says, love from Watts. Hello, Watts, California. Queen, my son had got his stimulus yesterday. Okay, so the 2,000 is already passed. Okay, good deal. So he got the 600 and the 14, and I knew they was going to break it down. I kind of felt like maybe I did not know what I was, or maybe, I would have to tell people, maybe I thought that the Simpsons prediction was wrong because I actually, thought that Trump, that 2,000 would get passed and that he would definitely, the Simpsons prediction of him bankrupting the United States may or may not, but even if they didn't pass the 2,000, right, the bankruptcy was going to happen because he's historically has passed two of the largest stimulus package as a president in the United States than any other president. The first one was in the spring, right? And now this being the second one. So it still happened or on his watch, right? Or during his presidency. So these are my words that I'm leaving with you if I don't go live later on tonight for 2020, and I may see you tomorrow for 2021. As my grandmother would say, if the Lord's will, is that you need to convert your cash into either credit, right? Which means because these dollars are about to be devalued and we are going to experience inflation. Inflation is increased rising of pricing, which means your dollars are going to buy less and less, purchase less and less. So if your credit is not up, you need to invest in getting your credit up. I went ahead and got back on my credit. I needed to take a mental break, but I got back on my credit today because, in 2021, I want to have my mind set back into that. You definitely need to invest in getting better credit, right? But for nothing more is to stop paying the bank's interest and high interest on your vehicles and everything that you have financed, right? You're getting the banks richer, right? And not yourself. So that's number one. Number two, crypto. A lot of people ask me, what's my opinion about Bitcoin? Is it too late? Bitcoin is at, let's look at it. And I believe in buying low. So do I think it's now a great time to get into Bitcoin? Not for the average American, right? Which we know that 1 out of 4 Americans did not have enough money, right, to save $400 in the checking account this year, right? And so 29,000, you notice that Bitcoin is converted into US dollars, right? At $29,147.78. Yes, that is too high and it's in the positive to now get in the wave of Bitcoin. However, if you would have listened to me earlier this year, you could have got in for approximately $6,000, but you didn't. You listened to that other YouTube channel that told you don't do it. And now you missed an opportunity to become more financially stable, right? So now you have Ethereum, which is like the silver, right? Bitcoin is gold. Ethereum is like silver. That's it also hit its all-time high as well this year, right? So cryptocurrency, the new digital dollar, is the thing. It hit its all-time high of 2018 of over $700. It's currently at $740, right? And then you have some other blockchain and things that's doing well that I really don't discuss, right? But if you become a part or a supporter on my Patreon channel, we do discuss those things, right? So there are still some affordable crypto or altcoins out there that's looking to get a good return on investment for people that may be looking to invest their stimulus. Now there are some people who cannot invest their stimulus because the stimulus is already spent, right? It's already spent because this is what it is. This is what it is. If you're behind months and months on your rent and or mortgage, or maybe your bills, right? And you wasn't responsible with your first stimulus and first $600 unemployment, then you're behind and that money should be already allocated and spent. Or if your children are at home doing virtual learning, homeschooling, then your groceries have probably increased, right? And so that money and then the price of groceries has increased as well. Or if you went out and you, for some other reason, right, spent on Christmas and shopping and things, I want you all to understand this. Holidays are strategically planned to take your money and to keep you broke. Say that again. Holidays. It's called capitalism. Capitalists are people that think of things and strategies every month to psychologically get you to spend to keep you broke, right? It's not going to hurt your kids around December if you can't afford a Christmas gift. The most important thing is that they have love, support, and food, shelter. Whatever happened to us teaching those basic needs, right? And so once you learn that and you won't become a part of a capitalistic society, right? You understand communism, the most communist states, for example, are Texas, Florida, Arizona. Why? Because they have no state taxes, right? And also Texas, for example, accepts gold and silver as legal money, right? So communist type states. But then you have capitalist states, which is just too high to afford to live in, such as California and New York, right? Property taxes are extremely too high. Home prices are increasing. I got an email, random email, and I thought, man, I could sell my house right now and get thousands of dollars of equity, right? Thousands of dollars in equity. So you exactly, Kenneth. Every time you turn around, it's a holiday or an occasion: Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, right? April Fools, and people still build food on April Fools. Easter, New Year's, people are going out spending on New Year's now in January, February, Valentine's. Then you got March, spring break, April, Easter, May, Mother's Day, June, Father's Day. Also in May, you have graduations, college, high school graduations. And then they added Juneteenth to the Black and Brown community. Then you have July, 4th of July, Black and Brown community is going to celebrate both freedom months, right? Then August is right back to school, right? Then September, you have Labor Day. And then October, you have Halloween. And November, Thanksgiving. And then December is Christmas, right? And so if you understand capitalism, you won't be pressured to spend because you understand how the system works, right? TK says, hi, Queen. MLK, his final year, he was one of the ones that said we were going after our check. Type talk, that speech should be a must listen to. I'm going to play some of the clips of his final speech to show people that he transitioned from a religion mindset. Religion is another institution that keeps people broke as well, right? Another institution that keep people broke. I won't get into detail about that. And then you have people that just don't want to change their mindset, right? You're going to have people that invest in those $500 Jordans. People that want to invest in the $500 PS5. Nothing against recreation, entertainment. Nothing against wanting the highest fashion clothing, right? If it wasn't Jordans, then Chanel or Louis Vuitton or someone would get it. But it is something wrong with that if you don't have a financial education. It is something wrong with that if you don't understand that. I want you all to ask yourself this question. Why is my social security card, right, and birth certificate in all caps? Do you write your name in all caps? When you go to school, do they teach you to write your name in all caps? Or do they teach you lowercase and uppercase? So why on these documents are they in all caps? Because under the Constitution, that makes you a corporation and not a person. Business entities. All the letterings for your, if you want to incorporate a business, a LLC, a S corp, a corporation, it will be done in all caps. Your EIN application, the business name will be put in all caps, right? Those documents, your checkbooks, if you still use them, will be in all caps for the business name. So you are a business, and the transition just came from being a physical slave, right, in the field, to now economic slave. The physical slaves were picking cotton, and it made the United States the richest country in the world during that time. And Eli Whitney's cotton gin invention, right, to now still picking cotton, because cash is made of 75% cotton. And so now you're working for the government and not your slave master in the field, but working for the government on your job, because you're getting taxed 20 to 30% out of your paycheck. So your labor, right, the government gets a chunk of that or a piece of that. And the thing about it is you have control over that. You tell them when you complete your W-4s, you tell the government how much tax to take out. And when you do not have a business entity, right, to add to your paycheck, you're either going to be the house slave or the field slave. It's called hybrid entrepreneurship, right? Adding a home-based business to your paycheck. And when Biden's new tax plans come into effect, people, first of all, he never stated that he's going to reduce taxes. He just stated that he's going to raise taxes for those incomes who are over $400,000 annually. So that affects small business owners, which would then affect the middle class. How is that? Because the small businesses are the ones who employ the middle class. And if their taxation is higher, the buck is going to be passed down to you, because they're going to need and want more tax deductions. So how do they do that? They increase your pay as their employee for bigger tax write-offs. And when your pay increases, that's why we see minimum wage increasing now, $15 an hour. That's going to cause another domino effect, where it's going to be the second silent tax, which is inflation, which is going to cause the increase of pricing of gas, groceries, and everyday goods and services, right? And so the dollar devalued. I'm going to break down probably tomorrow. I inform people of 3 platforms, 3 places which they can invest in crypto. I'm going to break down probably tomorrow the difference in the 3, right? Whether you use crypto.com, Coinbase, or Robinhood. If you don't have any money to invest, you definitely need to make yourself a corporation. And you do this by joining the home-based business, right? You need to transform your birth certificate name, the name that your mother gave you or your mama gave you, whatever you want to say, into a corporation, especially when it comes to your paycheck, right? Had a client that did that, brought in $1,400 more income into his household. That's more than what the stimulus is. Well, that's one of the stimulus payments, right? So you need to pay less taxes. A lot of people work for the federal government under the Paycheck Protection, have taxes that's going to increase the amount coming out of their paycheck starting tomorrow, January the 1st. You need to reach out to me, join the home-based business, and the home-based business is daily pay. You get paid every day. I tell people a pay a day keeps inflation and recession away. What other business can you work from home, make passive income, and get paid every day? Every day. I got paid every day. I get paid every day at 4 o'clock, like clockwork, right? So once you get paid every day and prices increase every day, right, then you can keep up with the pace of inflation. So let me put that, let me put this link in here if you want to know more about the home-based business. You can watch these 3 videos. Another thing, if you have cash, if you have the cash to convert, you still can get gold and silver. I think silver is about $26 spot price, so you can get an ounce of silver around $30 an ounce right now. That should be very affordable for people. And 1 ounce of gold, spot price is about $1,900. So $2,000 roughly for an ounce of gold is predicted that gold could go up as high as $10,000 an ounce in 2021. Why? Because gold is always used to reset the accounting system, and we are going to a great reset. So gold is an asset, silver is an asset, and cryptocurrency is an asset, right? And corporation, the home-based business, the link is on the screen, right? It's right there. It's an asset. You need it. Because as the dollars devalue, so will taxes increase, right? And you get an opportunity to get daily pay. Daily pay. Now, those have been asking about my Patreon channel. Let me see if I can find it. Link. The first video was released last night. It's a one-time monthly investment of $9.99 a month. Yeah, let me see if I can find that link. I did the first live stream last night. Learned a lot of in-depth information behind the scenes so that you all will know that where we're headed based off of where we've been economically. We talked about some things about the Titanic. If you're not a part of the Patreon, you'll be shocked, right? At what's happened in history, because economically, right, history often repeats itself. And so that's the link to the Patreon channel. The video is already in, right? And so you definitely can watch that video and replay. And we also will get into cryptocurrency as well, and using your credit to invest, right? Not to be a consumer, not to spend, right? But to invest, right? And so we're going to end on Martin Luther King's video now. K. Diva says he transitioned people to a different level of slavery. You're right. It's the great transition. And that's why I wanted to end my 2020 last video on his speech of the great transition. He was transitioning people in 1968. That's approximately, 53 years ago? And I'm telling you now, in 2020, there's going to be a great transition as well. All right, so let's tune in and watch this. And then I'm going to log off, right? This is my 2020 message to you all. Will you be prepared for the greatest economic transfer of wealth, right, that this generation has ever experienced?
And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dog or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. We are going on. We need all of you. You know what's beautiful to me? Is to see all of these ministers of the gospel. It's a marvelous picture. Who is it that is supposed to articulate the longings and aspirations of the people more than the preacher? Somehow the preacher must have a kind of fire shut up in his bones. And whenever injustice is around, he must tell it. Somehow the preacher must be an Amos who said, when God speaks, who can but prophesy? Again with Amos, let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. Somehow the preacher must say with Jesus, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me. And he's anointed me to deal with the problems of the poor. And I want to commend the preachers under the leadership of these noble men, James Lawson, one who has been in this struggle for many years. He's been to jail for struggling. He's been kicked out of Vanderbilt University for this struggling, but he's still going on fighting for the rights of his people. Reverend Ralph Jackson, Billy Kyles, I could just go right on down the list. Time will not permit, but I want to thank all of them. And I want you to thank them. Because so often preachers aren't concerned about anything but themselves. And I'm always happy to see a relevant ministry. It's all right to talk about long white robes over yonder and all of its symbolism. But ultimately, people want some suits and dresses and shoes to wear down here.
All right, so let's stop right there. He said it's okay, it's all right to talk about long, silver robes and its symbolism, but people want some suits and dresses to wear down here. This is his transformation of getting religious Christianity and transitioning into kingdom. The purpose of kingdom, the message of kingdom, is to bring bring heaven on earth. It's God says, even in the Lord's Prayer, it says, my kingdom done, thy will be done, right, on earth as it is in heaven. How can you proclaim to be God's child if you are walking in poverty? Nothing about him is poor. Nothing about heaven described in the Bible is poor. It has mansions, right? It has streets of gold. Even the Bible says that God said a cattle on 1,000 hills is his. The gold and silver belongs to him. Those are commodities. Nothing about God or Christianity or religious so supposed to represent poverty. None of his patriarchs, from Abraham to King Solomon to Queen Esther, were impoverished people. Not even his best friend, Lucifer. I'm sorry. It was two poverty people. The wrong L came out. But Lazarus, right? Lazarus was Mary and Martha's brother that died, that Jesus raised from the dead, was his best friend. And they were so wealthy, right, that the alabaster oil that Martha anointed on Jesus' feet. That's why Judas said we could have sold that oil for money. That was a family of wealth, right? And he was Jesus' best friend. That's why he grieved when they told him that he had died. But he raised him from the dead. So nothing about what he represented. Anybody that was poor in the Bible, right? They had eventually to enter into prosperity. You didn't remain around Jesus poor. But that's why I created my Patreon channel as well, because people don't understand the power of giving when you're ready for financial freedom. Stop expecting just to get a government mentality to get free money or free stimulus given to you and start thinking, who can I give to? Every time in the Bible, the law of giving and receiving, in order for anything small to manifest, the small amount had to be given. The little boy with the fish, right? The 2 fish and loaf of bread, Jesus took that, blessed the small amount, but it took someone making a sacrificial gift. That little boy could have said, look, I don't care how many people are hungry. They don't have food. I got food. I'm going to eat my lunch. That little boy gave his lunch to make it greater, right? For the multitude that was following Jesus all day and they was hungry. Some people won't even give $9.99 to the Patreon channel, but they'll follow me to get my wisdom. But let me tell you, because of the law of reciprocity, you won't ever reach your highest levels of financial freedom that way, because you're robbing the law, right? And so I'm going to hit play again, but I'm trying to point out, because a lot of this just go right over people's head, that Martin Luther King had transitioned from a religious Christianity mindset to a kingdom mindset, right? And this is what Matthew 25 is all about. When he gave every man according to his own ability, talents, and he left and went away for a long time. It's like Jesus has went away, right? And he gave all of us talent. And on his return, will you say, well, Lord, I multiplied my talents and gift? You gave me 5 and I produced 5 businesses out of this. And now I have 5 more to give you, right? Or you gave me 3 and I produced 3 more sources of income out of this, and I've doubled what you gave me? Or will you be like that one that had one steward that had 1 talent? Let me turn the screen, because I'm preaching out and I'm gonna let Martin Luther King preach. Will you be like the one steward that had 1 talent and took the little he had and went hid it, dug it in the ground, hid it in the earth? What are you doing with your gifts and purpose on earth? Are you laying dormant on it? Do you have an idea that God has told you to act on? Do you have a business to build? See, when I went through my divorce, I knew there was an income that had left this household. So I acted on gifts of credit repair, teaching financial knowledge like this, right? And develop other streams of incomes from the talent and purpose that God put within me. What are you doing? Are you dependent on the government? Let me tell you all something. When March comes, you're not, well, maybe Biden will get us another stimulus. How long will stimulus last? The people that's getting stimulus now are already broke. That money is already spent. And when prices increase on your groceries again, right? How long will those little deposits last? And when are you going to take a stimulus and invest it? Either invest it in the person that's giving you financial knowledge and direction or mentorships, or turn around and invest it in yourself. I don't have that book in front of me. But God said he gives seed to the sower. You're not sowing. You got the seed in you. You are the seed. We're made from the dirt, right? Dust of the ground. He can't put more in you because you don't want to give more out. You don't want to give out to people that give you wisdom, that give you money making ideas. You want to hoard your cash, and you don't want to get out and be more than just an employee and do business. And in Romans, the Bible says, the Bible is the number one book on prosperity, by the way. That's why I quote it. To do business until I come. You're not doing business, you're working a job. You can work a job and do business. That's what I'm doing. I'm not against a job. But until you invest in business ventures, both spiritually and naturally, you're not fulfilling what the number one book on prosperity asks you to fulfill. All right. And I said this wasn't going to be long, so let Martin Luther King finish with the preaching, not me. Right. But this is his transition from religious mindset, religion, Christianity to kingdom.
It's all right to talk about streets flowing with milk and honey, but God has commanded us to be concerned about the slums down here and his children who can't eat 3 square meals a day. It's all right to talk about the New Jerusalem, but one day God's preacher must talk about the new New York, the new Atlanta, the new Philadelphia, the new Los Angeles, the new Memphis, Tennessee. This is what we have to do. Now, the other thing we'll have to do is this. Always anchor our external direct action with the power of economic withdrawal. Now, we are poor people. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Never stop, forget that collectively, that means all of us together, collectively we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. Did you ever think about that? After you leave the United States, Soviet Russia, Great Britain, West Germany, France, and I can name others, the American Negro collectively is richer than most nations of the world. We have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all of the exports of the United States and more than the national budget of Canada. Did you know that?
I'm going to stop it here. He said, this was in 1968. Average American income larger than the budget of Canada. This was in 1968, so I can imagine what it is in 2020. Collectively, $30 billion a year. So there's money in the Black community. You all are just mismanaging it. You're just mismanaging. You're paying high taxes. You won't invest in a business. You won't invest in yourself. You invest in liabilities. You buy $500 Jordans. You buy $500 games to escape your reality. You won't invest in your credit as long as you get approved. You don't care about your credit until you're trying to get approved for another liability. You don't look into getting a financial education, right? We don't do research about our own culture. What culture doesn't research their culture besides the Black and brown community? We don't know about the Black Wall Street. We don't have the history on it. We don't teach our children this in our homes. It depends on the school to do it, and the schools are not doing it anymore. David Banner says we're the only culture that wants to be want our oppressor to teach our children. 30 billion in 1968. 30 billion. Marvin Scottsdale, I love that. Peace Love says, what should I do if I get a large sum of money? I don't give financial advice, but if a large sum of money, I definitely would flip it into an asset if it's cash. Which is, if you have a gift or skill, invest in yourself, start a business, you're still gonna have to learn the marketing behind that. Invest in your intellectual knowledge, protect your intellectual knowledge as well. A lot of people ask me, why don't you teach me credit repair? Because there's Jack and the Beanstalk, right? Nobody sells the goose that lays the golden egg. Jack had to steal that from the giant or the whatever it was, right? He had to steal that golden goose when he went to sleep. Right? And so that's my intellectual knowledge. It's worth thousands. I'm not right now. I may in a couple of years after I get some things copyrighted with it to protect it. But right now I'm not teaching people my intellectual knowledge on credit repair. That's number one. If someone's selling you a do-it-yourself product that's worth thousands of dollars for hundreds, you should really question if that will work and if it does work. That's not good business to me, and it doesn't make sense. That's why I tell people that's why most do-it-yourself products don't work, right? They give you just enough to get a little success, but not the success you need, and some of them don't give you the little success. So if you have a gift or talent, invest in yourself. If you haven't found your gift and talent, then you need to get in a home-based business mentorship like I'm in that will teach you. I used to tell people all the time, look, you don't have to know sales. You just have to share the opportunity. But you know what? Everybody should know sales. That's just life. Everyone should know sales and marketing to survive. That's just life. If you don't know how to speak up and speak out and to learn to take no's, to go through 25 no's to get a yes and continue to persevere, you won't make it in life anyway. And even if you start your own business, you still have to market, sell, and promote that. Because not everybody know what they need. You have to tell them and convince them of what they need. That's just life. Most people don't have financial education, right? So invest in yourself if you have a gift or talent. If not, join a home-based business. It's less than $249. Get in the networking system that we're in that teach sales, that teach you how to market, teach you self-confidence, and teach you the power of networking. The most rich and wealthy people understand the quote that I used to make all the time. John D. Rockefeller said, I would rather make 1% interest off 100 people efforts than 100% on my own. So the question then becomes, do you want leverage income or labor income? Leverage income is the accumulation or the help of other people. Labor income is just linear income where you have to do all the work yourself. And then the government is going to take about 20 to 30% of that, if that's what you choose. Then you have insurances to pay for and inflation. So you're only going to make or bring home 30 to 40% on the dollar, if that's your choice. Passive income, business income is not taxed like a job income, right? Second thing, invest in financial education and knowledge. Learn how to use your credit to invest in assets because, again, we're going to devalue dollar. Have the right mindset about money, right? As Martin Luther King said, it's okay to be in church, for example, preaching about milk and honey, but you need to be living well on earth too. Have the right mindset about money. Learn about cryptocurrency. That's the future. That's the new era. I don't care who tells you otherwise. If you don't believe in or want to get into digital money and cryptocurrency, you definitely need to get into God's money. God's money has been money for 6,000 years. It's always used to reset the currency system, and we will have a currency system reset. going into 2021. The dollar's being devalued, right? So that's what I suggest, right? Get you some books and knowledge. If you don't know what books to start with, you definitely need to join my Patreon channel. That's more like what I'm teaching, more from books. Not only give you the mindset. I'm sorry, it's just this net flying around. It's annoying me. Not only that's giving you the mindset, but giving you the financial education behind it. I used to just give out my books and everything, but then I learned, hey, that's a service, and that's a business service. And if people don't invest in themselves, right, you telling them and giving them free information is not going to help them. They have to learn to invest in themselves. And I started attracting the wrong type of people who wanted free, right? Who didn't understand that if a person gives you $1,000 idea, it's okay for you to give them $100 meal. Let me say that again. If a person is giving you knowledge or direction or insight on $1,000 idea or thousands of dollars idea, it's okay for you to give them $100 meal or $100 bill, right? The law of reciprocity, right? You have to give into the people that's giving into you. And that does not always mean physical giving. It can mean knowledge and wisdom, right? No, I don't keep plenty of fruit in my house. I don't know. I really don't. I keep some fruit, but it's in the refrigerator. So I just have lights around me when I'm live streaming. I keep flowers in my house. That's what it is. I love live flowers. And that's where they come from. But I'm going to keep the flowers. So hey, you all just have to deal with me waving and necks when I'm live streaming, right? Because I'm going to keep the flowers. Jamie says, I listen to Birdman Kevo too. He drop a lot of game. He does what he's supposed to do. You drop a lot of game publicly, but you don't give away your secrets. You don't tell people how to play the game. You just telling them they're not playing it right. Now he did a good live stream, I think a couple of days ago, about actually how to tell if you've been scammed. It had something to do with the banking scam. I think he has a lot of experience in scamming and doing things like that, right? But a lot of times people are attracted to people who makes credit look glamorous and they live their lifestyle. And I'm not against that. That's a great marketing tool. I just prefer to teach and educate, right? But then when they get those products, the products are not helping if they try to repair their credit, right? So oftentimes the product doesn't match what their lifestyle is producing with their credit. But that's fine. That's just a marketing tool. He's doing it the right way. Maybe in a year or two, I'll market that way. So there's nothing wrong with that. Last thing I want to share with you all. I want to share this with you all. I saw this today and I'm like, I got to get this type of silver. I just love it. But it's out of stock right now. I think it's out of stock. Yeah. Because I asked to notify me when it comes in. Now you really don't supposed to buy silver for an emotional or a collector's type items. You're supposed to, hold this for capital gains and turn it in whenever the price doubles or increase or whenever you're ready to with silver and gold. But let me tell you something. I just love this monarch or lion. I just love the way it looks. Right? I just gotta get this. So it's out of stock. 2 troy ounces of fine silver. I just thought that was beautiful. So that's my Scottsdale mint that's on my list. It's heavy too. Look how heavy that silver is. So I can get that 2 ounces for like $60. That's why I convert my cash and credit into. And one thing that I love about silver and crypto, if you know the right place to purchase your crypto, you can buy them with credit cards. That's one secret I'm gonna give you all out of my book of how to use your credit to invest. You can get silver and gold. And if you want to know what other type of silver I invest in, Go to my website. It's still flying around. I didn't get it either. www.fixmycreditandcash.com and order your silver stacking report. The number 3 on that list will give you a 300% return on your investment. Silver is predicted to go at $200 an ounce, right? But thank you for subscribing, Jamie. Do you think that stimulus being given to people is leading money? Yes, it is. That's exactly what it's doing. They're getting rid of the value in the dollar, right? It's going to cause money print. It's causing your dollar to purchase less and less. And that's getting away with or doing away with that paper money and getting people, because what's going to happen that people that receive paper deposits, they're trying to find out, first of all, because the census was this year as well, right? So for the people that's going to the post office harassing the workers, where's my stimulus check? See, the government's going to find you. The government's going to find the unbanked, the rural people, because they're going to be so desperate, right? Because they have to transition over to digital wallet. So they're going to be so desperate for these stimulus. They're going to inquire with the IRS, hey, I haven't received my stimulus. And the IRS is going to send them a W-2. So you haven't filed your taxes. And they're going to have it a way that people that receive either payment or debit are going to electronically find a way to connect their checking accounts. Because they're going to be desperate, right, for those stimulus payout. Or they're going to want it. What do I think about crypto mining? I really don't think about it. Crypto mining. I don't. I know China does about 65% of it. And 5G Wi-Fi had to be released in order to get crypto money or mobile money, right? They need a stronger Wi-Fi. And this is the reason why 5G and stronger radiation is here. And it's causing a lot of sickness with people with pre-existing health issues, right? So Jamie says, and I'm signing off, I paid him for some game about removing student loan, and he didn't go into any detail. He was selling so why didn't you use the credit dispute letters for $400? So why didn't you, if he sold it to you, why didn't you use the letters? Jamie, or have you used the letters already? And I'll show you all this while Jamie is typing up the answer to that question. I tell people all the time, not only is the money going digital, a lot of these jobs that's lost are not coming back. And this, some people make excuses or they say, oh, if you seen the movie I, Robot by Will Smith, this is where we are headed to 2021. Now, some people can say that this was just a fictitious type things. No, these are real robots that's being created. And they look and dance and move just like humans. So let me show you all artificial intelligence. Oh, you said you didn't buy it. Okay, you didn't buy it. I personally would not sell a letter to get rid of student loans because that's not an easy task. It's like a bankruptcy, and it's worth more than $400 to perform that action. Because usually student loan debt is the highest debt that there is. Reporting on people credit report, right? And so there is music to this, but these are real robots. This is not some type of audio mimicking of a robot. These are real robots. So if the Wi-Fi had to be strong enough, and I've heard that we're also going to upgrade to 6G to get a robot, to power a robot to move like this. Have you ever questioned yourself what it's doing to your human body? This is real robot. And it's dancing better than some humans, isn't it? These are real robots. They have robotic arms now. The flip burgers at McDonald's, assembly lines and warehouse workers. We're moving people to the fourth industrial revolution. What does that mean? The year of the robots, digital money, artificial intelligence, self-driving trucks. Post office, people are complaining about deliveries are slower. You're going to see more robotic type replacing jobs of humans. I already get kids accustomed to it through virtual learning and get them accustomed to internet and laptops. But did you ever ask yourself, look at those robots. Wow. What is this power Wi-Fi to power this doing to my human body? If a robot can power, if a Wi-Fi is strong enough to power a self-driving truck and to mine Bitcoin and cryptocurrency worldwide, you ever ask yourself what it's doing to your human body? All right. Yep. And they're dancing too. Michael Jordan already have drones delivering on his golf course snacks, taking a job with humans. They're already delivering snacks and drinks to people on his golf course. More articles were released that drones are now flying. It started in 2017 of drones, recognized drones flying. Now flying more visible at night. They have them flying at night. I'll see if I can pull up that article. Also, especially for my new subscribers and my old ones, I uploaded a video on the Black Messiah. You definitely need to check that out on my channel. Just put the search in the Black Messiah. These are the Nike Air Jordans. Michael Jordan is really into this technology stuff. 11 self-lacing shoes, and it says it's on sale for $500. So this is a sale price. Everything is going to technology. You think your dollar is going to stay the same? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That's why I told you all to convert your cash. You have to understand what's going on in the new industrial age. This is also a book that we discussed, and I only gave the title of this book in the Patreon channel yesterday. This is a page from that book. So everyone that's in the Patreon can now get the name of this book. It says, with those amount of constant ways would change the human body, right? When the internet started on cell phones, we went from 1G to 2G to 3G to 4G. And most consumers are thinking that this is just for a faster speed. The 5G network was used in Iraq. People listening at this, war, the millimeter, I told you all this was for war use, wave. Using these frequencies on a regular basis, home or schools will endanger kids. The largest organ on our body is our skin, right? The largest muscle is your butt. So the largest organ is your skin. And the radiation will be on you all day like you're in a microwave oven all day. You wonder why people with pre-existing health issues have been getting sick? This was first released in China. And they called it a virus when it wasn't. They knew exactly why people were dying off and getting sick. And they knew exactly that masks will not help mask out the problem. So once the 5G network is set up, it will be the last step of the new world order. Without 5G network, they can't bring in the smart cities or virtual world, which is where California and New York is heading to. California already have Silicon Valley. They're going to make all of California and New York smart cities. They don't care about the people leaving. They want to make it unaffordable because it's going to be smart cities, right? And it's only going to be a place where exactly that they want the lower middle class out. So with the Federal Reserve raising rates with all this liquidity, they know the US dollar. This is where cryptocurrency and people know where we're headed, and they know the past will not have second guess investing in Bitcoin, especially when the Bitcoin halving is going on, right? They know the US dollar is going to be worthless, right? So the UN has no choice but to bring in universal income. This was called the New World Order, caused the chaos, and then they provide you with the solution. Let me give you a stimulus check. Let me get used to getting paid directly from the government and speedily. We will have universal income. I think Biden is going to implement that. So universal income will be a form of income where all citizens will get a sum of money from the government. Due to AI, artificial intelligence, over 60% of jobs will no longer be in a decade. A lot of these jobs, they're losing, restaurants closing down, small businesses won't come back. And if you think taxing small businesses would make over $400,000, it's strategically done to ensure they can't afford to stay open, right? With the cashless society coming, AI will control the whole economy. The FCC with Commissioner Ajit Pai used to work for Verizon. With these corporate lobbyists, net neutralist has ended the New World Order, takes 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards to get their goal. The internet will be set up like television, and that's the end. It's already set up like television, really. You get on YouTube, you get the news on YouTube before you can get on your local media if you follow any YouTubers, especially about stimulus updates in the economy. You can get your news on YouTube first. I don't even watch my television anymore because I know I watch YouTube. That's where I get all my updates, latest news, financial education. I still do books, right? But most of my financial education on YouTube. And now they're saying California has a different COVID strain because California and New York is going to be the cities for smart cities. And let me share again. I didn't mean to stay on here long, but let me share this with you too. The digital one, right, has already been accepted in New York. I'm gonna show you all this, and then I'm gonna wish you all a happy 2020. I think it's gonna be early. I think it's gonna be sooner than 20 years, Jamie. Queen, you dropped a lot of gems, many things you mentioned. I've been new about years ago. Strawman, UCC, Tether, Silver Gold, just to name a few. Good, Kel, make a YouTube channel and start educating people. What good is it to have knowledge if you're not going to share it with others, right? That's why a lot of people work from home, you right? So this is also the article on the drones. U.S. allowing more drones to fly overnight. This is a picture of a drone, and this drone picture is from 2017. So this is a picture from, so you have to question yourself, why they're allowing to fly overnight. And while we was in quarantine, actually, that's when a lot of the 5G towers were set up. And they're allowing these drones to fly overnight because they don't want the general public aware. So let me see if I can find this article about the digital one. Ask yourself, why is a digital in US, why would they support or approve, right? Approve the yen back a digital dollar from Japan? Why would the United States, when we're supposed to be the reserve currency? That's why cash is not king. That's why the dollar is not king. Blockchain and cryptocurrency. In US, right? New York, regulators approved the yen-backed stablecoin. The yen-backed stablecoin. New York Department of Financial Service approval. Japanese IT giant GMO Internet Group will also issue a dollar-backed stablecoin. So if you don't know that China is going to be the financial powerhouse, it will take over the United States, well, then now you know. So right now, the digital yuan, right, is regulated in the state of New York. Breaking the ground to see the first regulated peg stable coins, which many see as a safe haven asset. Now, if you think Chinatown and areas of California already look like China, you're going to see more of that in New York. That's why it's so expensive right now, and people are leaving New York and China because they want to drive out that lower middle class or the poverty people. It's not by design why New York and China is being hit the hardest, right? Shotgun said crypto teacher. No, I'm not the crypto teacher. Actually, there is a crypto teacher on YouTube, but I'm not the crypto teacher, right? So you want to know more about the home-based business? Go to my website again, fixmycredit.com. If you want the silver stacking report to know what silver to invest in, go to my website. It's on the homepage, silver stacking report. You want the silver to invest in that is IRA approved. It does not have to be reported to the government. You want the silver. You need to know the difference between silver rounds, coins, and bullions. You just don't want to get any type of silver, right? You want the silver that when you turn it back in, it's IRA approved, meaning that you don't have to give a 1099-B form, which then has to be provided to the government when you resell your silver. So you definitely want to do that if you want to invest in physical silver as well, right? How do I feel about people mining new cryptos at home before any regulations are made? Listen, it's over 8,000 cryptocurrency. I definitely would not be investing in that. But one thing I can tell you, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're going to be here to stay. So I wouldn't, if it's not on these platforms that I recommend that people purchase their crypto from or invest in their crypto from, I don't trade crypto. Why would I trade an asset like Bitcoin? That's to be held, right? That's for you to hold. Bitcoin is an asset, it's not a currency. So if you're going to invest in, to me, have you all ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street, for example? The movie The Wolf of Wall Street? And he was selling these penny stocks, and he's describing these stocks, and he's getting these on this pink slip and getting these people to buy, and he's just explaining the business over the phone. And on the movie, they're showing that this is nothing but a shack house somewhere, and this penny stock is nothing but a pump and dump scheme, because he's making it sound like to the customer on the phone that it's this big elaborate building. Then they show you where this place is located. It's nothing but a shack house. To me, you investing in someone cryptocurrency that they're mining from home is just that same scenario. And you're going to lose your money. That's just a pump and dump scheme. All right. Happy 2020. Hope this video helped you all. And I pray that everyone returns safe and sound. And see you again in 2021. Make sure you join the Patreon channel to get insider information like I just shared, so you can know what financial moves to make for this great reset. So here's to your health and your wealth, right? Your credit and your cash flow, your peace and prosperity. Queen of Credit out. See you in 2021. Be safe, be healthy, right? Stay safe out there tonight.